Everybody, if I could get your attention, I'll introduce myself first. I'm Mayor Joe Konrad. Just entered my second term as mayor of Benson, so for anybody who doesn't know me, that's who I am. But I'm surrounded by a lot of good people right up here, and I want to introduce them because they're the people that make this all happen. This is Mr. Doug Quarles. Doug's responsible for painting the murals and many murals that you'll see around Benson. We have Lisa Hill and Cindy Allen from Benson Clean and Beautiful. Cindy is also the owner of Ziering's Mercantile, and that's who handed out the goodie bags, the grab bags. Bob Nilson is our tourism director here in Benson. He's responsible for operating this facility and everything that goes with that. We have Amanda Jansen with Benson Clean and Beautiful. Gay Spivey. Gay does double duty. She works here at the Visitor Center and is part of Benson Clean and Beautiful. And Katherine, who I just met, is also with Benson Clean and Beautiful. So we want to welcome all of them here and recognize the work that they've done around town, and especially right here in the Visitor Center. So I'm going to let Doug explain the murals up here, but I came in here, I think it was the day before New Year's, and he had these murals all spread out on the floor, and I was trying to get a sense of what it was going to look like. Laying on the floor looked a lot different than what you see up here right now. So Doug, can you kind of explain this process and how we got from the concept to these hanging on the wall?
Well, of course, Visitor Center wanted something back there to decorate the walls with, and Clean and Beautiful. Come up with money there somehow or another. And of course, I got to get paid some way or another. But this one was really different than the rest of the murals because of course, Bob wouldn't remove the train tracks. So I had to paint it on canvas, and then we kind of like wallpaper glued it to the wall. And Bob helped me, thank God.
You made me.
I mean, no, he was afraid I was going to yank that stuff down. You know, we had to do it pieces, of course, you know, because I was wanting to roll it out. But I had to paint it at the house on my studio easel, and I can only do about 7-8 foot at a time, and I just, you know, I roll it out, prime it, lay it out, paint it, let that dry, varnish it, then roll out another 7-8 foot and paint it again. Just kept doing through that. And that one, Karshner's is 8 foot, about 8 foot. This is 29 foot, and that one's 17 foot. So it was fun, but you know, it took longer to do this than any of the big ones around here on the outside. But you know, a lot more detail in this per square inch, if you will. But it was a lot of fun, and it was different, and really enjoyed it, and benefits the city and the Benson business here. So glad and happy to do it, and anxiously waiting the next one.
And each building, there's a historical story behind it. We're going to get those stories to Lisa Hill, and it will be in the next magazine guidebook you guys have.
Cindy and Lisa, do you want to weigh in for Benson Clean and Beautiful? Kind of tell us about your involvement with all of this?
I'd just like to add in that the idea was a consorted effort with the Visitor Center, and the mural on that side depicts Karshner Caverns, of course. All of this is a streetscape of what Benson used to look like back in the day. And then this, on the other side, promotes local attractions and some nonprofits. So we're proud to be a part of it.
Thank you, Cindy. Lisa, anything from you?
Well, looking at the guidebook puts me in mind of when we first started doing this back in 2013.
Yeah.
It was my suggestion to start a mural book, and everybody else on the committee said, nobody's going to buy that. We sell a lot of them.
It's a pretty hot commodity.
Yes.
Bob,
yes.
You're responsible for running the facility here, and of course it's your fault that it was difficult to put the murals up. But, tell us a little bit about the train system.
Well, first of all, we got a grant from Union Pacific Railroad for, I think it was $7,000 to put the lower track in and buy the trains. And I was having too much fun, So a guy passed away who had a big backyard setup up in J6, and his son came in and said, "Do you want my father's G-scale cranes for your visitor center?" And I said, "Yeah." It didn't take me long, but so I had the same templates to make the lower track, so I used it again to make the upper track. And then he gave me so many trains, I didn't know how we were going to get them out of there. So I made a turntable out of a pallet Lazy Susan. So that works on a 12-volt motor, and when I get it tuned up correctly, we're able to turn that. And the trains up above are all battery powered and radio controlled, whereas the lower train is run off of a transformer with the control stand there. But we're still working on getting that thing to stop right so we can pull the trains off. And there's all the switches, everything can be worked from over there.
So a true roundhouse.
True roundhouse. So we come down and we let all the kids drive the train, and you get a certificate.
No age limit.
Kids of all ages.
Yes.
So,
But it's interesting because maybe we can get a shot of that in a minute, but as the train goes around the track, there's a video camera on it, and it shows up on a monitor over by the control station. The control station is an actual model of the inside of a locomotive. So as you're driving the train from the control station over there, it passes by the murals, and it looks like you're driving the train through downtown Benson. It's pretty cool. So we'll try to get that here in a minute, but anyway, that's the concept. The train goes around through Old Benson, and you can sit right there and run the train and blow the whistle. So.
and they can also come down. You see this monitor right here. We have a rail cam. We have two of them, a static one and one that moves back and forth. That we just put that in a couple months ago. And Railfan AZ controls that. And you can see a train coming through Benson anytime when it comes through here on YouTube. Go to Railfan AZ / Benson, I think is what it is. And you can see all the trains coming by all hours of the night. So
That's cool.
And that's broadcast live worldwide. So if you have access to the internet, you can see Benson from anywhere in the world. That's pretty cool.
We had a funny situation happen the other day. A guy saw it in Colorado, I think it was, and he drove all the way out here, and he stood out there and he called his buddy in Florida on his cell phone.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it draws people here. Rail fans is a huge demographic. We also have the screen there. It's an ATCS monitor, and you can see where all the trains are between Tucson and El Paso.
So all you train fans, come on down and see that in person. Cindy, thanks for the grab bags. That's
Oh, you're welcome.
pretty kind stuff up in
3 of them have $5 gift wooden nickels.
Oh, cool. And that's redeemable at Zuri
Yes,
style. Very
redeemable
nice.
at Zuri.
Can you check yours?
I haven't yet. But I'll keep checking until I find one. The rest of Clean and Beautiful, do you guys have anything you want to add?
No, I think you're ready.
Do you have a
Comment
question
for the
there?
peanut
I
gallery?
did have one.
These books are $5 and they're available here as well as at Zering, so you can pick them up at any time.
And Debbie?
And I'd also like to thank Dave. She helped us too when she was here too, putting all this stuff up and everything. She worked us harder than what we was really wanting to do, but
Cracking the whip.
cracking the whip.
She's our resident artist.
Yeah, very good artist. So.
All right, well, hey, thanks everybody for the information and you guys for coming out and seeing this. And be sure to go over to the engineer station there and drive the train around a couple times. You can see the murals on the video screen. Hopefully Kathy can get some of that on the video. Here with the video camera on the front of the train. So I'm running the controls. This is the throttle, and I can make it go faster or slower. And what we're watching now is the camera on the front of the train is picking up the walls of the visitor center as it comes around. So you'll see coming forward here. Oh, and got the whistle going on. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. There we go. And remember, if you come down here and do this, you get a certificate to make you an official engineer. So here we are. We're going to come up on the murals right now. I'm going to slow it down when we get there. And you can get a sense of, so there's Carter Caverns. And here we are on downtown Main Street in Benson. And these are the old buildings, the historical buildings that once stood, the original storefronts. And I can't identify each one as we go by for you, but of course, if you buy the mural book for $5, you can identify all those buildings and read the history on them. So here we are, still going through downtown Benson. Oh, listen to that. We've got an actual train in the background.
You cause that every time. Better answer them.
So here we are, we're coming around the next one. And there's stopped so you can get a sense of what the murals look like. Get back in action here. Here we are coming around this bend. Forever Home Donkey Sanctuary. If you haven't been there, that's a must visit. The place is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and shut this baby down. Once again, Benson Visitor Center right down here, and come down to see our murals.